on screen. We're pretty much live there.
Yeah, it'll probably come up on my feed instantly.
3, 2, 1, here we go. Push those in here.
The big one. There we go.
Wanted to bring in the. There we go. No websites. There we go. What's up, Miss Chronic? How are you today?
You know, just living the dream.
That's
Larry.
it. It's Larry Reed, the man on weed. We're here with the grinder. It's the 7-Eleven Slurpee edition here.
It sure is. In Oklahoma, it's going down at the 7-Eleven.
That's it.
If you haven't got in there and took your kids in there, go there, just bombard them.
That's it.
It's almost over.
And we're here with Ringside Medical with Katie and Chase. Welcome to the show tonight.
Thank you.
We've got
Thank you.
the absolutely fantastic dispensary here in the what part of Oklahoma? In Oklahoma City, right? But it's north of the city.
Yeah, it's northwest Oklahoma City, basically right across the street from Quail Springs Mall, right at May and Memorial.
In the same shopping center with Cafe 7 and Cool Greens.
Oh, yeah.
And we got a really fun address. I love this address. It's 14201 North May Avenue. So you kind of got a little bit of that 420 in there.
And
Pause
it's a beautiful area up there. Everything looks pretty new, and there's a lot of commerce in that one area, right? You can go get some
Lots
pizza,
of food,
lots of food.
coffee, yeah.
There's everything right there.
And now you can
right
shop
there
for
on
all
the
your
street.
medical needs, all your
Right
cannabis
there
on
medical
May
needs.
Avenue.
Right there on May. Which is a long street in this city. It
Goes all the way
It's
north to
like-
south, man.
That's the
Like,
beauty
wow,
of
I'm
it.
not from here. And somebody said, take May one day. And I was like,
You can
Well,
take
go
a
forever.
I went a while on
You'll
on
never
Get
run
for May
out.
there. So it's pretty interesting here. The Ringside Medical people, you have a tie to somebody famous.
Yeah, that
right?
we do.
Tell us a little bit about Ringside Medical.
Okay, so our CEO, and it just so happens to be my dad, which is kind of cool too as well, is former lightweight champion of the world, 2-time lightweight champion of the world, Sean O'Grady. Got a great record of 81 wins, 26 knockouts, and 5 losses, man. That's pretty good.
Wow.
That's a pretty good way to stand. He also had about a 25-year career in sports commentating as well. He did a lot of boxing, worked with ESPN, CBS, Fox, and had a really long stint with USA Network as well. And for him, it was just so important that in his later years, in his golden age, he wasn't really big into smoking when he was a young man. He had to be very focused on his career. But later in his golden years, he found all these pains and aches and stuff like that just throughout his body. And he started using CBD. That was the first thing, his kind of first path down a whole cannabinoid system. And he realized the power of that. And then me and him traveled to some of the recreational states, and he got to really concentrate on the THC and all other cannabinoids, especially CBC, which is great for inflammation. And he started to really get focus on how this could help him. And he started to understand, and he was always, funny thing about Sean is he's very much a staunch Republican. He's a very much a Republican, which is great. But he totally agrees with cannabis. From day one, he thought this should be legalized. We should tax it. He wasn't that kind of stoner kind of guy or anything like that, but he realized that there was medical benefits.
Could help, yeah.
And once he understood the power of THC, he really got behind it. And when we started voting here and started Prop 78, he said, I want to do something here. I want to stand out in front of the light. And one of the important things is I want to help destigmatize this because of who he is and the power that he has in the state with the community that he has and the awareness that he has. So many people have come into our dispensary and have said, Sean helped change my mind about cannabis.
Wow.
Our whole entire security team has really almost flip-flopped. When they first came in, they were very skeptical about all of this. And we really changed their mind and changed their philosophy about cannabis. So I think he's done such an amazing job at just making people come to their own decisions. And it's not just, here's what the media is telling us, here's what the government is telling us. He's he's really allowing people to sit back and say, here's the benefits, and you can make your own choice from there.
Right, which is really the way it should be. That's
Absolutely.
whether you want to take ibuprofen or whether you want to take.
It hadn't came down yet. I just didn't know if we needed to look into something.
Why is it not going?
It hadn't came down yet, just to see if there's anything.
I get it.
Every now and again, there's a little technical difficulties.
Yeah. I got it going on mine, so I just shared
Yeah,
it.
you're
you
live
do?
on
I just shared
YouTube.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I don't know
Yeah,
why
we're
I
there.
don't see it.
No, it's on your page there too, Miss Cron.
I don't even see it.
Yeah, I see it. I saw it on the grinder because
Okay.
I follow the
Yeah.
grinder. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, there you go.
There we
Everybody
go.
follow the ground, hit like,
I'll go
hit
look
ding,
at it
ding,
on the
ding,
grinder.
ding,
My
all
page
that
ain't
kind of stuff
rocking
there.
yet.
There's this is you're also being broadcast to a worldwide crew out here on the Cannabis Network media side, which I don't know if you saw this one.
I'll share.
The lady asked to have the name Mona put on her daughter's cake, and she thought it said marijuana. And so she instead of.
Well,
that's a good one.
But she's at least she's 25, and she wasn't 2 or 5, and that was good like that.
Absolutely.
But so okay, so the now let's go back to Ringside Medical here.
Yeah, I'm gonna share it on my page. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I
why
didn't
not?
make it. Right post. Get me on in there. Get me in the joint.
Putting up on Ringside now.
There we go.
Throwing it up on
It
ringside.
just didn't make it to me for some
Ding,
reason.
ding.
But that's all right.
So a lot of our staff, they always throw it around kind of like ringside. Yeah, it just cracks me up.
Are you ready to
anytime
rumble? Yeah, no, and so who's the besides Howard? We saw Howard Cosell in one of the earlier videos that if you've ever been a boxing fan and haven't seen Howard and Muhammad Ali,
they were kings.
that was the super classic that really
Absolutely.
brought boxing into the television, ABC Wide World of Sports and all that stuff, and then they bring you all kinds of fight, and even that Ray Mancini fight with Dudu Quam or whatever that guy was, where he ended up. Yeah, you don't want to Google that one.
Oh yeah, it might be a little rough to watch.
Yeah,
huh?
no, it
little rough for the viewership
He
there.
died after the fight.
Oof.
The Korean died after the fight,
Oh,
and that was
really?
like Ray Mancini's last
Ray
fight.
Mancini was like, he was good. He was a powerhouse.
Boom,
I
boom.
mean,
Yeah, that was it.
Boom,
And
boom. Yeah.
The Korean guy wouldn't stop, and the ref didn't call it,
Wow.
and he beat him bad.
Yeah, and I imagine the ref probably got penalized for that. And probably
The ref should have hung also because
Yeah.
it was not actually, but it was bad because that was. That's one of the things in boxing that's kind of changed. You see with the MMA and all that coming up there is some of the MMA guys say like boxing, you shouldn't go have 3 standing 8 counts. You already been knocked
Yeah,
silly.
silly, yep.
And so, whereas in MMA, you once and you're toast. You know, so that's even though you know you're getting knee to the side of the face and
They're really paying a lot more attention to those type of head injuries and really making sure. I think fight doctors are really taking a little bit more time to observe the fighter, really make sure. And even after the fight progresses, they still are monitoring him. You know, they still, you know, once a round is over, a fight doctor can still go over at that round. How are you doing? You know, communicate with
What's
me. Do I
today's
need to call it?
date?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because that is super important. I mean, I know none of these guys, you know, want injury from other fighters. It's just not cool.
No, because really there's a camaraderie around them, and once the bell rings, of course you go out and you pummel each other. But once the final goes,
Yeah, that's
it's
it.
like, hey, you know, how's the kids? What?
Let's
you
get
know?
back to
Right,
it.
yeah.
Right, exactly. It's the old the coyote and the sheep and all that kind of, you know,
Yeah,
morning Ralph
yeah.
and ding ding. And they'd be,
Yeah, I really think that the sport of boxing too is making a really positive comeback. I'm super excited about it. It seems like MMA starting, people aren't liking it as much because of the brutality, and they're liking a little bit more of these classy boxing matches to where it's, you know, it's not me sitting on the ground in a corner trying to get you in a stranglehold. It's me trying to knock you down to the canvas, and then you stay down there for 10 count, and then bam, it's over. And I think too that Anthony Ruiz, who just won the world title, that was huge. Having this overweight, like out of shape looking guy beat one of the best heavyweights out there, that was a huge fight, made such a positive push. I'm so happy and thankful to see that people are still listening to boxing and people are still having some light to it. just because it's really taken a nosedive here, the past few years, and a lot of people don't even know who the heavyweight champion of the world is. Back in Ali days, you knew who the
Who it
world
was.
champion was.
Absolutely.
You knew all the time in almost all the major classes. Now, a lot of people don't. Tyson Fury, but that's about it. And now Anthony Ruiz because of his big win.
Right.
But
And his first Mexican champion, right?
Yes,
His first that.
yeah.
So there clicks off, and I think one of the boxing has suffered for so many years from so many clowns being involved with it that the WBA, WBC, IBF, and he has
so many
9
classes.
different classes, and then even though he was probably bad for the sport, Don King, he was great for the sport because he was such a
he's such a highlight. Yeah.
that's it. That was
such
like
a highlight. Yeah, I think the most unfortunate situation is when he took over Tyson, and he just turned Tyson into a villain, and I feel that it ruined his name. I feel that it ruined the sport of boxing. It obviously really destroyed for a long time Mike Tyson's career. Although I'm really thankful that he's finally made
He's
this
got a
awesome
weed farm
push
now.
into the Tyson
Not just a
Ranch.
farm.
What's up?
Yeah.
Shout out to
Oh,
Mike
yeah.
Tyson.
It's like
a compound.
To a different level, Mike Tyson.
It's
He
like
said he's going big or going home.
104-acre ranch. It's gargantuan. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. I'm so happy that he's now in a positive place.
Yeah.
I've known him personally. He's known my grandmother, my father. He is really an amazing soul. And when you meet him, you realize this isn't this guy that you should be scared of. He's a fun, happy kind of guy. You want to fear him in the ring. You step foot in that
Oh,
ring,
yeah.
you fear
It's
him.
over.
But a lot of
Scares the
people
shit
are
out of
so
you.
scared to even approach him because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, is this guy gonna? I'm scared of him. But he's actually a very sweet guy. I don't know if you guys know this, but he has this huge pigeon collection, and he does all the
Well, I
the
used to watch
pigeon
him.
calling.
See, that makes a huge sense because on the cartoon, I was a big
Yeah, he's
Mike
got the
Tyson
pigeon.
mystery.
Yeah, Mike Tyson mysteries.
Yeah, he's got the pigeon
yeah.
all the time in there, and it's like,
Connecting
where
dots
is
here.
this
Connecting.
Okay, it makes sense.
And
It's
I-
all
I
coming
think that's-
together now.
I think that's what it called. It is the pigeon calling, where they send them out, and they even have competitions, I think, on it
Yeah.
as well. But
homing pigeons?
pony pigeons.
Homing pigeons.
Oh, homing
Homing
pigeons.
pigeons.
Yeah. So he does all that, and he did it all like before he started a boxing career. He still does it today, as far as I know. So the fact that he takes care of these, sweet, innocent little birds. I mean, he's not some big
You're
bad
like,
guy.
that doesn't
He's-
make sense, but okay, that
Yeah,
shows the
he's-
softer
he's
side.
a
He
very
also
humble
had
guy.
a tiger.
Oh,
He also
that's
had a
true.
tiger.
That's
That's
true.
true. Yes, you're right.
Let's not forget about the aggressive animal as well.
The
That's very true.
and that movie that really set it off when he was
Oh, the
Hangover.
documentary.
Hangover.
The documentary. Oh,
Oh yeah, that was
when
a
he was
classic.
in that, it
Yeah.
like changed everybody's. He went from being that villain to being like, man, that's Mike
that's
Tyson
Mike-
in there, man. That's awesome.
Oh
Yeah,
for sure.
That was a great flick.
that's how Larry's
So
trips
I'm
to
petitioning
Vegas are.
now an O'Grady Ranch in Oklahoma for cannabis.
Heck yeah!
Sean, if you're
Ooh, I like
listening,
that. Yeah,
put
there
it
we
out
go.
there in the universe.
Yeah, the
I just want to come to the grand opening.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots. And so that brings us on to Mike's got a ranch. And so Sean decided to get involved with it, of course, before Mike did. Cause,
Yeah, he did. Way
yeah.
before he did.
Well, and the story is so good. So you carry, do you have your own grows there? Are you vertically integrated, or you just strictly find the best products in the area and purvey those?
Right now, we are not vertical. We
Yeah.
are just shopping around for the best products. I think one of the things that we really find sets us apart is because of the name behind us, the reputation we also have to uphold, is that the products that come through those doors do not be sold or cannot be sold if they're not tested. We don't buy them. I mean, we have a binder on the showroom floor that if somebody comes in and says, I want to see the testing of Banana Punch, just because it's
awesome.
sitting right here, we can open a binder and we can pull it out and we can show them. I think that's kind of what sets us apart now. But that doesn't mean that Ringside is not thinking about potentials or possibilities of becoming vertically pretty soon.
Well, it's nice that you decided to go with one thing at a time. You see a lot of people out there now, and they're kind of, they're spread out all over. They're not doing any one good thing good.
Yeah.
They're kind of just piecing it together and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And
And I'll beat Chase to it here.
Yeah.
The
She
Ringside
knows what-
philosophy here is crawl, walk, run. We did not care to be one of the first ones open. We didn't care to be one of the ones to be open December 2018. That was not what was important to us. We wanted to be the ones that did it the best, one of the better ones. We are ones, hopefully having doors open at the end of all of this, still helping our patients, 30, 40, 50 years from now. I mean, that's our goal, honestly. So, I mean, anything that we can do to make Ringside better, that is hands down our priority.
Yep.
And that does not, take out of question the want or the desire to want to grow on our own and to process on our own and align with people that have the same goals as us. So I think that's kind of the mindset of Ringside. Nail what we're doing right now, which I think we're doing pretty good. And then let's move forward and see how we can get better, see how we can improve the patient's life every single day. I mean, that's kind of what it boils down to. So
That's what the law says. That's what the legislation says, to improvement of quality of life.
Quality of life.
And that's however you deem that to be. That's really the way. That's really health freedom that is being there. And so we brought in some of the products, which the first one I got to go to. There's the now, is that Mom in there, or who is the?
Yep,
That's Mama O'Grady.
That's my mom.
Lady O'Grady.
Lady O'Grady.
To
is
Ray
what the
at
guys
Ringside.
give a shout out to Ringside Ray.
Yes.
Nice.
But yeah, that's Robin and myself. Extract came out and did an article about some of the female products that we carried. Interviewed both Robin and I, who, if we are honest, a lot of the products in and around cannabis are men driven. The packaging is male driven. You don't see many flowers and, fun things around these products. So one of the things that Robin and I really wanted to wrap our head around is, how do we make this a little bit more fun and a little bit more women driven? We're in a really nice part of town around really good gym systems and parents and moms who stay at home, or whatever the situation might be. How do we grab all of these people? And one of these actually came from an homage to Dallas. I'm sure when I say this name you'll recognize. Jenna Owens from the Kid Craddock in the Morning Show came out with this line Fitish. This was her first CBD spray. The one that you're holding actually is not CBD. It is just like a facial setting spray, but it comes as a pair. So we brought the two.
A what?
It's a
Yeah, you gotta explain that for the
Setting spray, Larry.
Hello, you put your makeup on.
Here, let me show you.
You spray and you
Gives
set
you
it.
fresh.
Oh.
You feel fresh.
It's almost like it's almost like a double layer. The first one is you wash your face, you spritz yourself with this cool down spray, which is sitting in front of you, and it's a CBD product that helps with acne, redness, eczema. People are using this. I mean, her page alone, the testimonials on this are fantastic. They use it on like red bumps from razor burn. A spray of the cool down spray.
Like this
helps
razor burn you're
alleviate
talking
that.
about?
Razor burn. I mean, so yeah, sure. I mean, it's driven towards women, just because Jenna is a strong woman in Dallas. She's all about, and this is my favorite thing I think about her. She's all about, I want to be fit, but I want to be able to eat the cupcake too. So I'm fit-ish, I work out,
gotcha.
but I eat the pizza and I eat the cookies, and and I love that about her. And this, like I said, is just the first of many of her line. With all CBD. I think she has a CBD lip line now, a facial cream. So just the reach that she has is fantastic. This is a product that I use every single day. I personally have seborrhea dermatitis that's inflamed by a tomato allergy that I have, which, being from Philadelphia, is awful, let me just say. But on a bad day, I'm redder than an apple. On a bad day now, when I use this every day, I'm a very light shade of pink. If I'm
relief.
consistent with it, it gives me relief. I don't have to, cake the foundation on right next to my nose, where I don't know who I thought I was hiding or what I thought was, I was hiding, but I don't have that worry anymore.
That's
I might get
awesome.
some dry skin here and there, but a spritz of the cool down spray is
Just makes it
perfect.
better.
It just
That's
helps.
great.
And that's just CBD. I mean, think about where this could go if there maybe was some THC present
Right.
in this,
Yeah.
or even some CBC in there that's going to
CBC.
help with inflammation.
See, I learned.
Or,
listening to you, that's why I was like, I need to go find me some CBC.
yeah, CBC is great, and we actually carry a CBC syringe in our store, and that's great because we get so many athletes being right next to gyms and kind of the alignment of how we are a sports themed dispensary. We always try to put a lot of push and say, hey, you work out, you have inflammation, take a dose of this at the end of it, and it's really going to help offset the inflammation that you have from your muscles, as well as just CBD. So some of those products are really going to be fantastic with some of those more athletic people who are focused on the inflammation and more of the medicinal side of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, and then you've also got THC with rub-ons now these days. I mean, maybe not this brand, but
Spray it. I
to,
wanna smell
to
it.
get
Yeah,
that,
spray it,
that,
please,
that
yeah.
I wanna
full
smell it.
full array.
Yeah.
It smells clean.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't even know.
Yeah, it's not a huge
and
smell.
It
A little squirt.
Yeah,
Squirt
there you
them on,
go.
let's try
Yeah.
it.
Squirt you right there.
Try your feminine side.
Try your feminine side,
but
right?
when it's on your face,
It has an invigorating
promise you,
smell,
I promise you,
actually.
I will leave this with you because I believe in it so much. I promise you, you wake up in the morning, you wash your face, you throw cold water on. That's almost better than throwing cold water on it. It feels good. You can instantly feel some relief.
mean,
you know
it
when you
feels
wake
cool,
up and
it's
you're,
right that
you're
way.
Katie spritz my
groggy
face.
and-
Yeah.
It did the
Spritz
same.
me.
I try. I run around the house. Come on, you need to cool down.
Get over here.
Yeah, and I think, Larry, the best comparison for the setting spray is it's like urethane on wood.
I was gonna say, man, it's like
That's like the
two
best
doses
good
shellac.
Yeah, it's just some shellac. Like that's all it is. It's for the face.
Just
Yeah.
holds everything where
Nice
you put it.
nice
And
and
it
tight
feels
together.
good.
So you've been married 90 days. I've been married 32. That's why I go with the shellac.
Not
There goes
32,
the shellac,
not 32
right?
days, though.
32 years.
No,
Yeah.
32 years. Yeah. Yeah. So we just got married about 90 days ago on 420, which is kind of a pretty important date here in our world.
So
our
that is
world.
so neat.
But
I'd
it
like
was.
to say it was coincidental, but I think we know better.
Yeah. We were a little nervous because we were
There it
open.
is.
That's us at BizCon this past year. That was
Vegas.
man, that was
Yeah.
amazing. There are
was.
so many people there, so many connections there. In fact, I still have people. In fact, we had a call yesterday with somebody from that we had met at BizCon. Back in December of last year. So it was really a powerhouse, and I suggest
show.
anybody who's trying to get into this industry or trying to wrap their head around big picture things, BizCon is really a good platform for you to see all of it encompassing, because what we really have to picture as a whole, as an industry, is we need to see what everybody else has done. We're new to the
Yeah,
game, and we got
new.
to realize that we're new. We can't, so many people assume and think that we're in this position, but really we're dialed back more. We need to get that focus. And I always encourage anybody who wants to get in this industry, learn as much as you can, try to research as much, see what other states are doing.
Yep.
See how you can work that in depth to what we're doing. That and I tell you, BizCon really set both of us on that strong path of here's how to do it the right way. Here's how to take that time in consideration at the front end of it, so that when you're up and operational, you are in a really good place, a really positive place.
Right, you don't have to repeat the mistakes the other people have already
They've
done
already
out
did
there.
it. They've
Yeah,
already
right,
skinned
exactly.
their knees and got back up. And
Yeah, we did some content out there, and like you said, it was just absolutely fantastic. It's going to run again this December. They run them all over the country, but this one right here
Yeah.
It's the biggest
is
one, right?
It's the mecca of it. And then a shout out to the Emerald Cup, which takes place late in December, also out in Sonoma County, California. Which this is the business side at MJ BizCon, and then the Emerald Cup is more. This is what weed parties will look like in the
Yeah.
future.
Sure. Yep. No doubt.
And there's probably, I can't even, as big a tent as you can imagine, the biggest wedding tent.
Sure.
5 of them put together, and then everybody's just got their cannabis out there, and you
Yeah,
can
just
buy
having a good time.
it and
Cool.
pay it and try
Yeah,
it,
try
and
it.
just everybody's partaking, and there's a room full of bands playing over there, and there's seminars, and
Awesome.
which is something that's going to happen great. That's coming to. What do you think about the High Times Cannabis Cup coming?
that's
Coming
huge.
Oklahoma. What is it?
Send
August
us on the-
24th and 25th, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's the-
it's freaking huge.
Well, Ringside will be there.
Yep, we will be.
well, they announced they cut the price, and I don't know if it was in half, but they did a discount for
if you're going
everybody.
to compete.
Well, for the compete. Well, I don't think it was. Was it just competing?
I think it was just competing.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
booth price didn't change.
I was like, yeah.
If you were competing, the booth price changes. If you have so many
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Right. So if you're a competitor, you get a discount on the booth.
Okay.
Because you're paying 2 fees,
Yeah.
and then those both came down. If you did it that way, you're still going to come out of pocket pretty good for.
Yeah,
It doesn't
for
matter
sure.
which one. They were saying that you needed 56 grams, but I think
that's
that
not
was a
too bad.
typo. 56 grams. I don't know. 2
That's
ounces.
not, yeah, that's
I guess if you're pulling down
you're-
10
yeah,
pounds,
pounds,
what the
that's
hell is
nothing, yeah.
2 ounces?
nothing.
It's not.
Yep.
Not only that, how the judge is going to party hardy unless you got 2
Yeah.
big fat ounces of some of the best weed that Oklahoma can get up out of this.
It will be interested. I'll be interested to know if OMA requires any type of special reporting or system in order to do that, because they're
won't-
not getting their 7% tax off of that 2 ounces.
You won't be able to sell there. You have to
Yeah,
sell
no,
at a dispensary.
Yeah, and I
Right,
guess they'll
so
just
it's-
cop it up as a sample or something. But
yeah, or they'll have to as a damaged good or something. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, see that's
Who knows
kind of
what the right answer is? That is a little
Maybe
bit different because you're not selling it, you're not really consuming it. It's like a test.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if
It's a test
OMA
like a
people
fast
are out there,
labs.
let's weigh in on that question, because we want to
Yeah.
make sure that our growers are safe and
Yep.
doing their reporting accurately. So let's make sure that we got those answers before we go into this.
And the truth is, if the ones of you that don't know, is you cannot get into the facility to the event unless you have your medical card, because we are a medical state. We're not recreational. So, and right there's
There
Ochronic
it is.
Docs.
That's the thing. That's the question is: are there ID requirements or an age limit to enter this event? And you have to be 18 plus with an Oklahoma medical card.
Yes.
So
However,
it just so happens to be that the wonderful woman sitting next to me, the
yeah, and I
chronic
actually
doc
talked to the
herself,
OMA
that's
today
it,
to
yeah.
try to make sure we were doing everything the right way, because I know we're on Cannabis Network Media, and that's across the
Right.
globe. So for those of y'all that aren't from Oklahoma and some of the surrounding states that do want to come participate, I basically found out you have to have currently a medical business or a medical card in your state. If you have that currently, and I actually will be posting up to Chronic Docs the official wording on everything so that you can go look at it. It'll be up there tomorrow up at chronicdocs.com. But you have to basically contact me, and I can help you get your form and everything done properly, get it submitted over, and they're charging $100 for a 30-day temporary pass. And do remember, it can take up to 14 days to process. She did say they're averaging about 5 to 7 days right now. They mailed out like 2,500 cards. They were really, really far behind on getting their cards out. They did get a lot of cards mailed out in the earlier part of the week. So for those of y'all that might have been waiting for those, I just got a little heads up on that. So that's cool. Y'all might be getting them in the mail and getting a little treat for yourself.
your
So
mailbox.
yeah, check the mailbox.
August
They did say
7th,
she did
that's
say
the-
that there are hundreds of cards that are returned, that
No
people
way.
put the
And
wrong
addresses.
addresses. She said that they every day they get like 50.
sure.
So if you guys haven't got your card, you might want to. I think she said the email was patient or something. There, go up to the OMA website. There's a patient email that you can hit them and just say hey, and they'll probably have it there. And you actually walk in and go pick it up. You don't even have to ask for it again. Because I was like, there's a lot of people that are saying they haven't gotten them. It's been months, and she's
Yeah,
like,
so
well, we
definitely
get like
make sure you're
tons.
getting checking your OMA account.
Yeah.
And making sure you typed in your address right. And
Right,
if you
like
didn't,
forgot street or Ave, and you've got a kind of a jerk for a post office, or whatever. But she says she gets 50 a day. I'm like, that's crazy to me. People spend all that money and then they're not
Yeah.
getting the right address in there.
That's good
But
info
people
to
do
have.
help.
We have a lot of patients asking.
Yeah,
that.
but people are just doing it real fast and they're not paying attention. Then that could be
Sure.
the problem. So, but yeah, so that was pretty cool. And so, so yeah, if you're out of state, you do have to have your card. Texas, we're sorry, y'all aren't legal yet.
Missouri, though, if you got a medical card in Missouri,
Horns
Can I do
down.
horns down?
yeah,
Horns
yeah,
down.
sure, absolutely.
Boomer.
But
That's
you
it.
know, to qualify, you do have to just have your state ID or driver's license to qualify as your residence here. But there's always next year. Hopefully, things will change, and we're always hoping for progress in all the states. To
Colorado
to get
medical
there.
patients can come, right?
They
If you're
sure
a medical
can.
patient in Colorado. If you're a medical patient anywhere in the country, if you
As
happen
long as
to,
you've got your card, if you'll call that number that's listed right there on the High Times, I can help facilitate the paperwork, get it done really quickly for you, get that knocked out so we can get your 14. They got up to 14 days. We don't have a ton of time. It's coming up very quickly. So we'll hurry up and get that done, get that knocked out so that you guys can come participate.
you got
Enjoy.
less than 30 days pretty much to
Pretty
get on
much.
that that horse and ride
So
it
we
on
got about 3
in.
weeks
That's
with the most to get it all done.
Yeah, let's do it there, Oklahoma, because really the most important patient is the next patient.
That's right.
That's the one of the things that I'm seeing more and more out there is once you have your card, you won, but you got to be able to pull the others through with you and expose them like they did over at ringside with Sean and being able to say like, look, I'm getting relief for me, but
get
I
you
see
some
you
relief.
creaking around out there. That's the
Absolutely. And it's still quite the challenge, especially some of the baby boomer generation and older, to get them, you can get them to understand the medical benefits, but to get them to actually say those medical benefits are useful for me personally, it is so incredibly hard because they have spent almost their entire life viewing it in such a negative light. And it is quite the challenge. We have people come in who ask questions, and maybe we'll get them to pop on CBD, and then we say, give this a try, see what you think of it, and then come back, and we've got some other solutions that doesn't work, and even that makes them nervous. I mean, they leave with CBD in their hand feeling like they went on a black market and got it. And it's like, guys, that's very much legal nationwide. You should not be uncomfortable for CBD.
Right.
But that's why education, I think, is so
important.
important because there's so many people, especially in the older generations, that think cannabis and marijuana is just this, and this is, and you have to light something in order to get high, and all these crazy stigmas that we've been ingrained to believe.
They can't rub it
for
on their
so
knees
long.
Exactly. They can rub it with a salve or something, and they
I mean,
didn't
I'm
know
sitting
it.
here looking at this fight and thinking, Sean's being punched
hammered.
around and
They're both hammering each other, man.
yeah, it's no surprise that Sean has arthritis in his hands, his feet, his knees. He hadn't been able to run in years
Well, 6 or
until
7.
using CBD and introducing THC in the topical form. He can run again. He's running for
so
the first
happy for
time
that.
in 2 or 3 years, and he's never felt better. And he's like, wait a minute, time out. Why am I not giving this to everybody and trying to tell them it's not this big scary thing?
you have to
and
smoke it,
You have
yeah.
to smoke it. You can rub it on and never feel that high that everybody's so afraid of.
And that's really what the chronic doc situation, when I first launched that, was I wanted to be able to get involved with telemedicine, and a lot of it had to do for the senior community. Even though they're very timid, a lot of them don't have the Facebook, and that's something too, like if you do have a family member or someone that can't, like if there's one lady that called today, she has seizures, she can't drive to the patient drives, and so this is a solution she needed.
virtual,
So if they don't have Facebook or they don't know how to use it, that's okay. They have a kid, they have a grandkid, they have a daughter, they have a husband, they have somebody.
That has it,
And they can, if they just let us know, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, we'll figure out a way, and we'll make the doctor know, hey, John's going to be calling on Facebook instead of Jessica, and walk them through that so that they don't have to worry about it. And a lot of them, we laugh because they'll call and they're whispering to me calling about the marijuana. And I'm like, yeah, sure, and so for the people who are not wanting everybody to see their business, and
no
we
doubt.
actually went and did a grand opening for Green's Bakery out in a small town, and they couldn't let people weren't coming to the patient drive because the town was so small,
They didn't want their
and
cars
they
to be
didn't
seen.
want them to know they were in there getting it. So I left my numbers with them and said, hey, we're virtual anyway.
yeah.
We just happened to come do this because we're trying to show support and love to the dispensary and showing up and stuff. And so, at the end of the day, they were able to get those numbers, and then they could call me from their house. And then, so,
What a great idea.
it's a
and
fantastic
that's
idea.
really what we really wanted to start off, and being able to help the people that are in hospice and in the hospital and that aren't able to get out, or people who have anxiety when they walk in and there's a line wrapped around the building. And thank God that we can do that, but some people can't handle it. And to have a solution, because we're 100% virtual and 7 days from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Wow.
So it takes 5-10
awesome.
minutes with the doctors.
Yep. Shout out to Michael Wisenreed,
Yep.
who
Dr.
is-
Mike.
Dr. Mike,
The man of the hour.
who knows, is very familiar with Ringside, very
Yep.
familiar with Sean, and want to say hi and thank you for being a part of Chronic Doctors. I think you've done amazing work.
Yes. We've been very, very lucky to have him help us launch it. So it's exciting. We'll just keep on going.
Exciting. And so the array of different products that you have. We saw the
Yeah, let's
the
talk about
Fitish,
the other stuff.
which it kind of is interesting in that the whole name and all that kind of stuff, and it's actually somebody famous too. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's
And we carry quite a few other women's-based products that are CBD infused. We carry another product called Gold Q, which has. I'll let you speak on that one because I don't want to.
Yeah, Gold Q is basically just a line of beauty products. I would looking at you because you'll probably relate to me a little bit more than you're a thane on wood over here. But it's night cream. It's nighttime and daytime eye cream. It's a face serum. It's a hand lotion, a topical cream. We have a product called High on Love, which is a really fun
You'll like
product
this one, Larry.
that we actually found. Speaking of BizCon, it's a CBD line. It's hemp-based products, and it's a women's pleasure line. So orgasm gels and
It looks like a credit
body
card?
paint and
Chocolate
you know what?
body
Yeah.
paint. What?
Chocolate body
Time
paint. And
out
surprisingly,
here. And that's in your store over
more
there.
men
It's
store,
buy those items than
And
the
they
women
should.
do.
Yep, they buy them
they
for the
should,
ladies.
right.
They buy them for ladies.
Get in there, Larry. Get some for your wife.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next guy I see with chocolate all over his fingers, I'm gonna be like, yo.
I know where you went.
I know
outta
you
here.
were that ringside getting it
that
in.
But can we
That.
talk about the benefits you get on both sides?
I mean, it's definitely worth it.
Well, they say intercourse is so much better when you have some cannabis in your system. They say it heightens your senses, makes you more aware, makes you more
I know
pleasurable.
quite a few people that can vouch for that.
Yes.
Well, that's one of the
57%.
things
At
that
least.
that I've seen more and more. We've had a ton of products go through here, and the women sexual products are leading the path on what is like new in the
fresh.
industry.
Yep.
Everybody's got the 5-hour
that used to be
energy and all
taboo.
kinds of
It used to be taboo, wasn't
Right.
The women weren't supposed to really have enjoyment on things, and so now we're like, hell yeah, we want enjoyment too.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Everybody needs it.
because really the women that smoke are awesome. They're
right.
so laid back, so relaxed, and probably more so than some of the guys.
We know.
Yeah, that's which is really cool. Especially the Dabber girls.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the Dabber girls out there. Woo.
Yeah.
Larry says,
Especially looking in some cute little outfit and then doing a dab. And
Yeah,
you're like, hey,
well.
win-win.
all right then.
After after 32 years, I don't see cute outfits.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm married. I don't.
You might
I
have to
know,
get you
I
some
could
damn
just tell by the way
chocolate,
you
Larry.
answered that question. That
Get you some
was-
damn chocolate. You might never know what might happen.
That wasn't the point there, Mr. Clark.
Hey, you gotta keep it, spice it up. You never know. That's something new.
That's the old hot pepper and the. So speaking of hot
He's like, I got
peppers
them
here,
chopped. I'm
we've got
gonna say, let's get down
we
to
gotta
some
get
good
that.
stuff
Yeah,
here.
like I
Yeah,
said.
the
So,
SOG.
SOG, yeah.
So,
Song, Skywalker,
Skywalker
OG.
OG.
From Americana. Shout out to Americana. They're one of our kind of premier brands that we have.
Beautiful packaging.
Yeah, this actually kind of reminds me of our boxing display that we have in ringside. When you first walk in, all of it's adult.
It's Larry proof.
I've been at
Just
this
come on,
box
Larry, you
once
can pull it.
before.
Come on.
You got to pinch it. And
I
then
got
slide.
it.
But we have this really cool boxing display
do it,
set
Larry.
up on the ringside showroom floor. I don't think Larry can do it. Larry, do you need help?
Yeah, you want somebody else?
Good job.
I
Get in there.
might have been medicating before I got here.
So that is a disposable THC cartridges for people who don't know. What's great about these disposables is it's easy, portable, convenient, and ready to go, whereas an actual cart, like a 510 thread cart or a threaded cart or a pod-based system, you have to have a battery attached to it, where this is one unit. So people who are looking into they're looking into a vaporized solution, this is a good way for them to try it out without having to purchase a battery and then a cart in addition to
And it's
it.
so much easier to talk to a patient who comes in and says, I want to try vaping. It's great. Why don't you try this disposable first? Because all they literally
Do you know how many
need to
people
do is
don't
pull it
sell
out
the,
and-
the battery with it in their dispensary? They don't even have them.
Yeah, that's
it's
ridiculous.
crazy to me.
Yep.
Tons.
Yeah, we carry a whole line of ooze batteries, and we carry some. I gotta show this off. We gotta show the mini.
You got
the
cool little
iMini.
mods and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
check out this iMini. This thing is so cool.
Oh, that is cute.
Pocket. I mean,
Yeah,
it
little
fits in your
pocket size.
It fits anywhere. It's perfect. It's discreet, which is a
Yeah,
huge
that's
factor, I think, for a lot of people.
It is magnetic too, so it's actually kind of a fun little fidget tool as well.
Yeah, we love these gizmos.
Oh, yeah.
We're gizmo people. Then it's got a little button, and you can get these over here at Ringside.
Yes,
You've got
yes,
everything
you can.
right there.
Has a preheated mode. It's awesome.
Yeah,
this
it's
little
fun.
thing.
We carry that, and then we carry a whole line of Ooze batteries, which are more of the traditional long, slender ones, but they are the most optimal and probably one of the most durable as well. We when we first opened up, we carried a bunch of kind of the cheaper batteries, and especially the ones that were just draw and buttonless. They seem to kind of crap out a lot, and you kind of got what you paid for, and we realized that that's not a good path to move forward, that we need to have that durability that patients expect you to have a durable battery if you're going to spend. I mean, I think those we were charging $5, so patients really like that, but you got what you paid for, and they were more willing to pay for an $18 battery that was reliable as opposed to one that was going to crap out on you in a couple days.
Yeah.
So that's a shout out to one of our other feature vendors, Mary Mechanics. These guys have done such a fantastic job at really coming out into the market. Americana has been around for a long time. Relief is another one of our feature vendors. We've got a lot of brands that have been around since the very beginning, since when we opened our doors in February. But Mary Mechanics kind of came in a little bit later to the scene, but their vast array of products, I got to really give such support and love to these guys. They have flour, they have concentrates, they have carts, they have keef, they have rosin rolls.
And the keef is only found at Ringside Medical now. They,
Yep.
they
Nice.
only produce it for Ringside. So if you're looking for any keef, we have a really good selection up at Ringside.
As well as a ton of flour. They are one of our premium vendors, and they have just done such a great job. I see their name. I know Toki T's been rocking their hat everywhere, which I'm super stoked on. They have just been phenomenal, and we carry almost their whole line of carts as well.
And RSO. They also have a
okay.
Fantastic
which,
RSO.
which sells pretty well with us too. So
Yep, that is very accurate. And what I like about these carts is they're about 95% THC, and it's $50 pre-tax at our dispensary. So it's a really great price for a 1 gram cartridge.
and the flavors taste good. You know that's the
most important.
Yeah, it's the
Yes.
most important. It tastes good. It smokes well. It gives you a great high. It's Mary Mechanics just hit it out of the park. They really have a really great product line. As well as, I mean, everybody that's up here.
I love the
on
logo.
this,
I was going to just say I love the logo.
The logo is great. The way they got
Yep.
the RX and the mechanics and
Yep.
lines up like that. So they're thinking.
Yes,
Very nice.
and they're I think it's kind of cool too. They opted out against a green color scheme, right? Almost everybody out there is using green or
And it's
something like
pink,
that,
A
and
little
then
bit more geared
feminine.
towards women. So
It's red. It's hot. It's the hot flavor of the month. Right here, Super Lemon Haze. It looks like you might have one of those in your iMini over there. I was saying, Jason.
yeah, I actually do. I believe it is. Do we know
It
what
is
this?
Mary
It's a
Mechanics.
sativa.
but I'm not sure what it is. You know, that's the problem. We have so many different ones, but if you don't keep them in their containers, you don't know what they are.
Until you taste them.
can't- Yeah,
Until you
honestly,
taste
I
them,
can't
and
tell.
then it's
Can't tell.
yeah.
And that's a shout out that I'll give to all the processors out there. If there's a way that we can somehow put some type of little mark to even just say indica versus sativa, because I know,
once it's out the box,
yeah,
it's like
you have no idea.
And a lot of people, that's how they associate what they're using, indica versus sativa. And, you know, it would just be helpful. I mean, I guess you could always just keep it in the container you bought it in, which would be smart. But
yeah, but if you're
that's a little
changing
weird.
them out for flavors and differences
Flavors
and
Exactly.
different times of the day
things
and things like that, you
Yeah,
can
it does make it
easily,
hard.
I've seen plenty times that
So
happen.
this is product that we actually just got in today. In fact, down at Ringside, it's Therapeutic Thursday. It's 15% all of our CBD product, as well as Grow KC flour, which a majority of it
That's Grow
is.
KC flour,
This
yeah.
is Grow KC flour, and you can pop the top on, and if you want to show some of those nuggets off. That's a whole line of. Well, we'll go back to Charlotte's Web. There you go.
We'll
Pop top.
pop it up.
I know how to open the weed jar.
So that
Smell that over
right?
here.
That strand is Banana Punch.
Bam.
Hit you in the
That
nose.
is that's actually a Jungle Boys cut, which is pretty fantastic. It's an award-winning strand. It is just incredible tasting, incredible smelling. The terpene profile is absolutely fantastic. And I want to say it was 22%. I took a picture
If
of
Haley
it.
was here, she'd tell us. I think it's 24.7, if I'm not mistaken.
Shout out to Weed Geek Haley back over there at
Haley.
Ringside
Bartender
Medical.
Haley.
Oh my gosh! And with the memory of
24.7.
Katie,
There you
Yeah.
go.
This is why they
Right
keep
now.
me around.
Stoner Chase, not so much on the memory side.
And so if I'm sitting there like, this smells pretty good and all that, you got any more information on that? You were saying you have the profiles sitting there right there on your counter.
We have them
Absolutely,
in a
yeah.
book on. If you call Haley at Ringside
There
Medical,
you go.
Yeah.
she
Got
can
it
pull
right
those
there.
lab tests out for you.
So Grow KC, they always do a full panel testing. So they cover all the important things that any user would want to know as far as mold, heavy metals, which are super important on the flower side. And then obviously potency. That's how we have a potency mark to it. And then they do terpene profile as well, which is really super important.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited that Oklahoma is finally, after a year, starting to realize that terpenes almost affect your high more than THC potency.
Right.
Totally.
And I think they're slowly starting to get that and understand. They still always want the super high THC, and yeah, Ringside's going to provide that. But I also want you to know that that terpene profile is going to make you feel this and make you act this way a little bit as well. It's going to affect you a lot.
Yeah, well, our guest last night was saying that she's identified myrcene as being one of the
yeah.
terps she doesn't want.
Yeah.
That it does
that's
weird
great.
things to
That's
her,
good to
right?
know.
And
That's
Great to
super
know.
key. Yeah.
so
that's super key because I can eliminate 5 strands just right off
Right
the
off the-
bat. Like, you don't want any myrcene? Okay, these are out.
Yep.
Right. And you're totally right, Jason. That's the way the future of weed will be.
Absolutely.
And not only that, you'll have your DNA mapped, and they'll probably say this is going to work better for you because you've got, you've got velour seats and power windows, and whatever your DNA is they're going to say you match up with that better. So.
Larry, I think you came up with probably the best thing that I've ever heard. Me being a guy who tries to focus a lot on athletics and in my body, macronutrition is typically where I try to spend a lot of my time on nutritional wise and figuring out where my macros are, meaning fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, and how much I should intake that in a day in order to set myself on my goals that I want to do, whether it's, increasing muscle build or cutting out fat. All those macros are going to be based on that. If you have a test that can tell you, or some way that you can drill into it and figure out, here's how much myrcene I can have before I hit a limit. Here's how much lamine I need before I'm feeling like super cracked out, super jittery.
Right.
If you can figure out how much CBN you want in that indica to make that sleep last longer, that would be that. If we can drill into that it would really revolutionize the industry.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's
what I need in my life.
Yeah, no, it's here. It's they're able to map us now very easily and simply.
That's awesome.
Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
Stuff. That's all going through there with that stuff and yeah, and they'll be able to tell the other stuff besides just cannabis because this is I think the future is a lot of cannabis, but it's also going to need to integrate into regular medicine. And it's not the stop all to end all, but it'll certainly get rid of some of the nasties that you experience in there and just doing some of the other things that are, and so that's the way it is. That's to be able to experiment with it today and find out what it is that you love and all that. And so you sell eighths also, right? This is
So we sell grams and eighths, and then we can build that out from there. Actually, probably one of the funner things about the way that we do our profiling on our flower is if you want an ounce, you have the ability to mix and match. So
That's
if
nice.
you want half indica, half sativa, you can do that. If you want a gram of every strand that we have, to equal up to, whatever we have at the time, you can do that. It's pretty cool because it allows for you to be diverse in it. Or if you just want that ounce, okay, we've got 8/8 right here, buddy. Here you go.
And if
That's
you're going to
nice.
get 1 gram of everything which would be 28 grams,
Mm-hmm.
you make sure you tip Haley on the way out because she's just she's just going through 28
We
jars.
prefer to call it karma. Karma jars on the side.
Yes, it's a kind of a pick a penny, leave a penny.
There you
We
go.
There you
have
go.
some people who come in and they might be a dollar short of what they want, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to cut that off." Well, hey, we've got $1. Let's help you out,
Yeah,
and
we
you
encourage
help
the
all
bud
that.
tenders to do that. Like, I'd rather you get that product and get what you need, and me take $1 out of what somebody else is. It's karma, man.
Yeah.
It really
somebody
is.
took care of
The
me,
pay it
and
forward
I'm going
thing.
to take care of
Pay it
you,
forward,
and it
absolutely.
will come back better and better each time. So.
And so you also have pre-rolls here, right?
Yeah.
Is that what that is here? Can we?
Yeah,
get-
please
Yeah.
open that up. That's
Look at that! Look at that!
You opened that on one shot, Larry.
When it comes to pill bottles and weed jars, I can get in those.
Those fancy schmancy
That's
things.
the-
Those are a little bit more.
I guess I shouldn't say pill jars, but the look at that the
a
packaging.
little excess, huh?
No, I'm talking about the packaging for the
Little glass
pre-roll
container?
it's really nice. It's going to be
Yeah.
quality when you go to get in there.
Yeah, and Relief is another one of those premier brands. I was talking about that boxing display earlier. Americana, Relief, Grow KC, which is the flower we were just showing, and Mary Mechanics are kind of our four premier brands. That's this really cool in the center of our boxing display at the store. We advertise for them. We let them put, their each one of our little clear display cabinets around that boxing ring is dedicated to each of these guys.
That's nice.
Just because we've got a great partnership with them. We really believe in the products that they carry. Americana is all veterans,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's
Made by
veteran
veterans. It
made.
says it on the package too.
So it's just every one of these people have really
A great story.
Yeah, they've got a great story. We've got a great relationship with them. So we're proud to bring you their products,
Yes.
which is awesome. So
Yeah, we love the idea of highlighting them, and kind of part of the concept. In fact, one of the guys who really pitched us on that idea was actually one of our featured vendors, Grow KC, and a shout out to Hugh. They came to us and they said, you know what's kind of cool? I see you're going to do this boxing display. What's cool is if how you see in the ring, you see Budweiser and you see all these other advertisements. You should advertise some of us. And we just, a light clicked on for us. It was like, wow, that's a great idea. Let's
Exactly.
share, that wealth of information and say, these are the guys that are bringing you these great products. And so when you walk in and you see, and it's such a focal point too, this beautiful boxing display that we have, that patients walk in and they flock right towards it. And ringside is literally right there with all of our other vendors. So we show the same amount of love for them because we can open up our doors and sell product, but we won't have anything to sell if we don't have the vendors that bring us this great, fabulous product to do.
Relationships, yeah.
Well, that's one of the other things that I really like about your marketing and your model is you get the support from. So it's not we're watching the Sean O'Grady win a world champion over Hilmer Kente there in the background, and Hilmer in a plea to maybe vote for me. He's not going to get the win. Nope. But you see in there, like those people are professional ring people. That's not somebody. That's not a cousin or I keep flashing back to Rocky, and they got Paulie in the corner, right? You get Paulie's like, I don't know, Rock. You're going out, Rock. First you gotta fight Rock. You gotta fight him. That's it. And so that's what you have going over there is you've got experts on all the sides from this lady with this wild stuff, which I'm sure if you needed to get a hold of her, you probably could and say like, yo, what's up? I need, more of that or Relief or Americana or any of the other people that you have over there, the Mary Mechanics. If you got an issue with with a cart.
Oh, replaced instantly.
You call up Mary Mechanics, they take care of everything right there. You're
Actually,
not
you bring it
wondering-
right to
Right to
ringside.
ringside.
Yeah,
I
don't
will take
don't
anything.
even go with that. You're a patient
Well,
of
that's
ours. You
right.
come to us. We'll replace it right then and there.
Right.
And it's literally no questions asked.
And we know that in turn we can get that replaced
Sure.
on the back end so that it's quality passed down. You know, we can, because we work with partners that will allow us that
Right.
freedom, we are allowed to now extend that offer to our patients.
Mm-hmm.
We stand behind 100% of the products that we sell.
That's great.
Carts, if they're leaking, if they're whatever the issue might be. And you know, we get so many people that will get frustrated and write a review online. This cart was awful and don't ever go here. But it would be as simple as you just calling me and
So we
I
could
could have
try
said,
something.
I will replace it. I
Or
will
let me
give
give
you
you a
your
different
money
one to
back,
try.
or I will just let you try something new
Yeah.
altogether.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
It is frustrating when people don't give you an opportunity to fix it, you know, because you never know. I mean, and it could still be the best product in the world, but there's things called defects that happen every blue moon, and you can't control that. And that doesn't mean your dispensary's trash or, you know, it's
Well,
just.
did you have it in the car all day? Sir? No, I didn't have it in the car. No.
Yeah.
Were the
So-
windows up in the car, sir? You know, did you get
Or
your
your
dog
dog?
out of the car?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Oh, no,
Yeah,
none
something
of that.
happened.
None of that.
Yeah.
And then,
So that's the one thing that I say that with some of the patients, I wish they would be a little bit more, have the communication with the dispensary owners, because I do see them slamming people, and I was like, why you have to
a little
slam them? Go
unnecessary.
talk to them. Now, if you
Yep.
talk to them and they're not doing anything to rectify the issue,
different story.
that
Different
is
story.
different. But
Yep.
that's not the case most of the time. And that's the thing is everybody's so new. Even these products as premium and great as they are, you think they are, other people say, we're 1 year
Less
into
than
it.
a year for
this
most of these
this is
people.
going to look probably different next year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
sure,
You know,
every
all of
product on
these will
there
be,
probably
they'll
differ.
find some other cart that's more effective, more
Well, that's exactly
premium.
your-
A C-set going
And
from
they're
a
just gonna
C-cell
keep
to
it
something
better.
else.
That's
Yeah.
the Miss Chronic. You're right on the money
I
with
know,
that.
'cause
See,
it's
because
like
they
any
used to
other
have to
business,
use
you know?
PGVG. You know
Yep.
what PGVG is?
Nope.
Propylene glycol. You know,
Oh yeah, that.
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So that's how you did distillates
keep him-
before it was
Right.
refined.
I make him
into
make me
a
look good
flow,
over
a
here.
PHO or a BHO process.
Right. So you couldn't. The oil wouldn't flow
It's
without.
too thick.
Right, and so they had to mix it with that kind of stuff, which is also sometimes in vapor world that comes out of there. But these people over at C-Cell came out with this one, and you can see they're using the C-Cell over at Mary Mechanics, or looks like it, or derivation of that thereof. Which means they're stepping up in the quality. There's no VG, PG needed in any of these anymore.
Yep.
It's straight out. It's distillate. Do you know if they reintroduced the terps, or is that actually batch made with the terps from that batch? Or
No, they reintroduced terps into
Okay.
it. I don't think they are batch specific. Those are added terpenes 100%, but they do it to kind of help assist with the flavor.
Sure.
And one of the things that I've noticed about Mary Mechanics, as opposed to a lot of other ones, is I feel a lot less burn in my throat from the terpenes, because a lot of times just a slight increase of that terpene profile can really affect the burning sensation. So it's really important to get that profile down, and also to get a good viscosity in that cart as well. That's really going to make a big difference in how you
We can use
inhale
big
that.
words too, Larry.
that's what it's all about. It's all about the viscosity of the oil. So
Yeah, it's literally
the
what
thing
it
that
is.
everybody in this marketplace is going to experience is now this stuff it flows. You'll notice your carts burn up faster than you ever did in the summertime.
Yeah.
But come wintertime, and then you be like, oh man, I
Yeah,
used to
it
get
lasts
these
forever.
great carts, and now they don't even work no more. And it's like, yo man, your viscosity, bro.
Yeah, it's
Stick
off,
it in
bro.
your pocket.
Word of the day: viscosity.
Viscosity.
V for viscosity. So
Do you have like a cape? And we can
yeah, it's Captain Viscosity. That's the
That's
and so
right.
we'll probably let's finish up with
Yeah, I wanna go back to that.
one of the items that really changed the entire cannabis world,
Yeah,
which was Charlotte's Web, which is the Stanley brothers,
Yeah.
who have, I guess they patent the brand or the strain, and it's a really high CBD, low THC. Like it's really entourage
0.03.
effect kind of stuff, right? It's just a
We,
little.
we do carry an
catalyst.
isolate as well, so it's purely hemp with no THC. Because I know when you do have that 0.03%, if you do take high volumes of it, you can pop on a test, and a lot of people get nervous about that. So Charlotte's Web also does offer a isolate, which is just pure hemp. And that's absolutely fantastic for people who don't want any THC involved in their system.
Right, which is getting to be harder and harder all the time, especially when you have when you've got a full plant extract of hemp.
Yes.
It naturally has that. And that's one of the things. Shout out to the Dr. Lawrence Pasternak, who went through and looked at what's happened here on the federal side is when in the Farm Bill, when they legalized hemp, there is trace amounts of THC in hemp. Yeah. So that if you test positive for THC, your claim is you were just smoking hemp.
Yeah.
And so it makes it federally legal to have THC in your system. And that's what's just happened in the state of Texas, is they made a rule like that also when they went through and they legalized hemp in Texas. So now in Texas, you can have the trace amounts, and it just came from hemp.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that's going to take place in the world of lawsuits to see where it goes. And you saw today the House or one of those clowny organizations, and they're discussing the future of cannabis and what they should do with it, and I think it's kind of kangaroo courtish. They just
it is, but the more that they talk about it, the better. Have it go and fail 100 times, but the more and more times that you go talk about it, the more and more times that you get these old curmudgeons that are around the Senate and the House that that are just sitting there like a bunch of old kooks thinking this is so bad. Keep bringing it up to them. Keep it right in the front focus. Have that negativity. Shut it down again and again. But guess what? It's not going away. It's not going to stop. You're never going to stop it. So you know what? It's going to keep coming to you until you're actually ready to listen. And then once you're ready to listen, then we're here to talk. We're here to lobby.
And you're ready to learn. Because that's the thing that's the big deal. I think that goes a long way here with us too.
Absolutely.
When I went down to the Capitol and talking to my senator and my House of Representative folks to talk about the waste management for the grow, because I have a small grow, and I was just like, that's just detrimental for my small of a company to have to come up with $1,500. I don't waste any kind of. I take it from the Rudy to the Tootie. Yeah. Like we're not getting rid of anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and.
They don't know until you talk to them.
They
right?
didn't know that up until a few weeks before I came in that all you could do was smoke it. And I thought, these are the people, again, going back to what we were just talking about, is they're making the rules for our state, and they don't realize these type things, the RSO oils and all the other things that go along with it. There's so much more on the medicinal side that can benefit, and that's why we just got to keep talking about it. We got to keep educating. We got to keep showing up down in the Capitol. We got to keep calling our senators. We got to keep getting in front of people. We got to keep asking people to go register to vote. Make sure your voices are heard, and keep it on the forefront so that we can just keep progressing.
Absolutely. Shout out to all the parents that have struggled and taken their children down to the state capitol, and to say, look, this
look is done.
Look at my baby.
Look what it's done,
and help other people too at it. Why are you going to deny this child a quality of life?
Yep.
It's
huge.
It's huge. At our Advanced 788 event, we had Brianna Searcy and her family out there, and Tammy and all that.
That's a great story.
And she was standing in the kayak, yelling at her mother that, no, I'm not coming back. I'm having fun.
Yeah. And a year ago, she was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, she's nothing.
Yeah.
Dwindled down to nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to say really quickly about this Charlotte's Web, too. The best thing about these new line of products that they've come out with is they've added some really great flavors to it. Their original flavors were mint chocolate and olive oil. And, man, they did not taste very good. But they've just recently come out with lemon flavor and I believe like an orange flavor. And it's made it so much more tasteful and so much more enjoyable to take in as a tincture, which is a sublingual. So you literally have to let it sit in the back of your tongue and absorb through your mouth, which if you've got a bad taste in your mouth, that is really difficult to do.
Yeah.
So I'm so very glad of Charlotte's Web that they came out with some flavors that are much more manageable.
What's for those?
And it's not just flavor; it's organic orange flavor. So it's not just some
no processing.
What's the story though behind this? I mean, because I've seen people asking for this specific. What's the story or the history that goes with this? Like, what are the primary? Charlotte was the little girl who I believe suffered from epilepsy. I
I think somebody can correct me on that. I'm not
Yeah.
1,000% sure, but some sort. I mean, she
I know there's
suffered
been a
from
shortage of this.
seizures.
People can't find it, and I keep asking. I'm like,
Asking
what's
more and
what is
more.
going on
Yeah.
with it?
Yeah.
Like, what was the story?
I think she was the one that brought the attention to it because, I mean, we just mentioned the parents that have taken their kids down to the Capitol and just said, like, look, what of a difference this can make. That was such a similar story. Charlotte's parents, I think they moved
Yeah.
To a different
They
state
did.
so she
Colorado.
could get
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Colorado so she
okay.
could get the treatment.
Yep.
And now, I mean, and it's just blown up from there. I mean,
has.
it's gotten worldwide
That's
recognition,
awesome.
Yep,
and I mean, our patients swear by it. Our patients that are coming in getting flour from us are also waking up every morning taking a Charlotte's Web tincture because they know the benefits of it with the THC together are making those two things work the way that they should. So
well, that's where Tammy, she, with her daughter, she was able finally to get her the CBD, but it was when she got that THC with her
Yep.
patient
It
card.
really helped.
She's wearing heels. She's running. She was out. You see her running
Yep.
the other day. She was running, going up and down stairs with it, and it was just
awesome.
And so that's
She's
why.
got Dravet syndrome, which
Dravet
is
syndrome.
one of the worst
Yeah,
forms of
that's-
epilepsy that you can ever.
But I believe she's doing a heck of a lot better, and I believe she has a very well-rounded
almost
life.
free,
Yeah,
probably.
very well-rounded life now
awesome.
because of this product. We've had several patients who suffer through neuropathy, very specifically using Charlotte's Web, and the mobility that they have from using it for as little as a month. I've seen patients walk in with a month's worth of use of Charlotte's Web, and they have almost complete mobility. I mean, they feel like they're 10, 15 years younger. And it's really helped with those types of very specific things. Where you have those mobility problems, where you have those inflammation problems, where you have bacteria issues and stuff like that. Night and day difference.
Wow.
Absolutely, that was when we first met over at the
Canniversary?
Yeah, at the Canniversary over there. What Cowboy Saloon? What was it? What's
Weekends.
Weekend Saloon.
Weekend
Weekend
Saloon,
Saloon that we were talking
Know where
about.
it's at.
What's a little rodeo?
Yeah.
kind of deal. That was an awesome event. Shout out to Green Grow, man. They just did a phenomenal job. I think that was a huge success for the industry. and
great turnout. For
great
sure.
turnout. So much fun, and it's just so cool seeing these everybody who's grown in the industry, and then a chance to kind of let loose too. You know, so many people that were at Canniversary, I see them in a very professional manner. You know, they come into the shop, we're interacting with business, or maybe I go to their facility and see their facility. But to be able to just go and, knock back a few beers or consume some cannabis and joke and laugh, that was, man, it was almost like wiping the sweat off your brow, like, woof, like, oh my God, we made it.
Right.
It was so cool. Such a neat event.
Yes.
I wish I could just pull out this video. I'll find it and I'll hitch up on it. But this is, you talk about neuropathy, and this is one of our friends, Madeline's whole plant journey. Who,
Wow.
Maddie's-
you shared
I
this.
sent that to
You did.
yeah.
Yeah, I need to push that out still.
And but there's one of these videos where you can see where she's got osteoporosis of her legs, and but
hard.
once she has the full plant rubbed on her legs straighten out.
Oh my God.
And
That
it's
just
like,
gave me goosebumps.
yeah, it's something that,
Power of
and
this
I'm going to
plant
find
is
it. Yeah,
incredible.
it's and so Maddie was sent home at age 2 on hospice, and here she
God,
is
on
at-
hospice.
yeah,
That's like a death sentence almost at
That's-
age 2.
Oh, I saw
that
her
she was.
picture.
Yep, she's the one.
Yeah.
The everybody was talking about the Little Mermaid and all that kind of stuff, and I posted her in there. I said, "Here's the real princess. Go see her." Like that. That's all make believe over there,
Yeah,
people. Like
this is
here's somebody
real.
right
That
here.
something that really matters.
Right.
Like,
If you could give 2 minutes to just go over there and just support her mom and everybody else that's there. And she's dressed up as superhero there. It's like, it's like so awesome, and she's not gonna. She doesn't have an easy life like a lot of other kids and all that, but her mom just does such a. She's got her hemp tincture. She's in the hospital and she's able to take this hemp tincture. And Seattle General or wherever they tried to stop her, and then they were like, What do you mean she's still going? Like we sent her out of here. Like we thought we'd never see her again.
yeah.
And here she comes. She keeps coming back and like
And you're going to keep
on
seeing
this
her.
one.
Yeah.
This is 3 weeks ago. 75 days seizure free. 455 days no opiates.
Wow.
168 days no benzos.
What's the little girl's name?
Her name is Madeline. Yeah. Madeline's whole plant journey. I don't understand a lot of this
Yeah,
medical
gave me
stuff. They talk about hemocrit and things like that. She's got her liver's not gonna sustain her too much more, and so they're kind of working their way to.
But she
But she
least
just
in
keeps
living-
going.
she's
She
been able
just
to
keeps
live
going.
life a little
That's
bit
it.
longer.
She understands sign language.
probably
She
not in as much
music.
pain.
She
And I was
gets
gonna
to
say, and
enjoy
probably a lot more
music.
comfortable.
That's it. And just everything about her is just her mom speaks at Seattle Hemp Fest, which that on your bucket list, like we talked about Emerald
Yeah,
Cub, we talked about MJ BizCon. If you want to see the most, it's called a Protestiville. It's a festival protest, and that's what the protest. That's what the festival is all about, is protesting, and it was protesting the cannabis laws. And so Seattle Hemp Fest, she goes and speaks there, and the I can almost be willing to bet that your father had somebody that you would have never expected in your entire life for him to get energy from this person, like maybe a little old lady that used to sit on the corner and just say, "Sean, you get over here," and then and so when you hear her speak, like at first you don't realize the power in this woman, and then she comes on there and she starts talking and laying it out there, and you just want to put your sword on, grab the shield, and be like, "Let's go!" Like we are out there to change the world.
We're hitting
And
the White House.
That's it. That's it.
the
Light the
vandals
torches.
row.
We're storming the castle. Here we go.
That's awesome.
And just everybody out there that gives a shout out to Madeline. We're really great. And I wanted to give another shout out. This is my big thing here is helping people.
100%.
And so I was telling you, I was in the glass world for a long time.
Yeah.
And we sold glass at the first Cannabis Cup in Colorado. We had a big booth, and shout out to High Times for not checking the booths, because we took 3 of them. At the three of them, and they're like, "Are those all yours?" And we're like, "Yeah, go, get out of here." And they're like, "All right, see you later, bye." So we had gotten shout out to Shawnee Marbles. We had gotten an inquiry from Heather, who is she was thrown off a horse early in her 20s and stretched C5, C6, which left her paralyzed from the neck down pretty much. And so Heather said, okay, so that's my challenge. I got to walk again in my life. I'm going to walk again. And, she calls up, "Do you have anything you could donate towards my charity so that I can get some money and do that kind of stuff and support myself?" Because the government sends her, because she's on disability, I think they have to live on maybe $11,000 a year.
Yeah, nothing.
So how do you you're in a chair, you got no mobility, you need help, and you got 11,000?
Wow.
Wow. And so when we first met her, we had to light her bowl for her. She was like, "Hey, I like to smoke. Can you, we put the in her." The last time I hung out with Heather was at the Fish Show at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. She was in her chair. She sits up straight in the chair. She drove herself to the park.
What?
She sat up in the park. She's smoking bowls. "You want a bowl?" And we're like, "What is going on here?" And so every year we throw a benefit. Actually, we don't throw a benefit. We say, "Heather, when is your benefit?" Because she's running all this stuff. She is doing it all. And they created this horse racing fundraiser where you can sponsor a crew member or a participant for $40, and then what they do is they take a bong hit and hold it, and each second is a notch, I guess, for 420 seconds. The first one to get to 420 seconds wins the race.
Nice.
And so the first hold of the breath, well, you're going pretty good. You might have 60 on the first one. Second one, you're 45, and then you're 30.
It's going down.
And then it's like, hold it. And so it creates a lot of fun and excitement, and that's over at Studio 420 in Denver, which is a consumption place, that a private club that you
nice.
can join and
Awesome.
go
Those are
over and
perfect,
smoke it
man.
up. Shout out to everybody over there, Crystal and Marty, for always doing it and helping Heather out, which again, she's just the
Go get her, sounds like.
she is the people that inspire. Like sometimes you look up to this person and look up to this person. I kind of like look around down low and see who the beasts are down there, and who's making it happen in the trenches and all that. Because once you're up there, you've made it. You're up there, but who's out there like giving it the
behind the
work?
scenes
And,
All of it,
you know,
yeah.
it was. That's it. And so, like Haley over there at ringside, the bud tender, man, mixing it up all the time and educating herself and knowing that kind of stuff. And Heather out there, she just does a great thing. So if you're watching this, go over to Studio 420 on Facebook, or go to Heather's Facebook page, which is
Yeah, pretty cool, man. Pretty great story.
Briselius, which is a beautiful name. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, but she goes as Heather Grigio, Briselius Grigio. You go over to her thing, and there's even some videos here of her doing squats in therapy, which is like, what?
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Good for her, though.
It
I mean,
is.
these are the stories right here that make what we do so much better. It makes it all worth it. You know, opening a dispensary was not the easiest thing in the world, especially at the magnitude that we tried to do it. And there were days, man, that challenged us for sure. And
Didn't want to get up, didn't want to
No.
go open the shop. No.
But I mean, going into the store and hearing and watching these people that are coming in dreary one month and excited and on top of the world the next month, it's like, oh my gosh, you are the reason why I'm here. You are the reason why we do what we do. So
Right.
these are the stories that are just going to make
We're all kind of
this
being guinea
blow up
pigs.
even more.
Yeah.
Because we're all
right?
trying to
Yeah,
figure
we're all
it
trying
out.
to figure it out, yeah.
and so and sharing success
And
stories
if you can have
and what
support,
works.
that's it. The
Yep.
And before
that's
you didn't though have the support.
No.
You were
Yeah.
in the closet,
Right.
Yeah,
trying
like,
things
am
out.
I okay? Am I going to get arrested
Yeah.
tomorrow? Like, is somebody going to smell this? I remember
Yeah.
that was always the major thing for me is, am I going to go out in public and somebody going to smell me and instantly going to associate, well, that's a dirtbag drug user. Like, seriously, I'm like, I feel better. I feel good. I'm able to like be out and have fun and be sociable. And you're going to look at me like that
Yeah.
because I want to smoke a flower?
Yeah.
Come on,
Right.
breaking that stigma, guys.
That's it.
Yep.
That's what it's all about. So everybody, definitely go check out Ringside Medical and give us the address again. So, or how can we find it? It's right across from Quail Springs Mall, right? That's
Right
probably
across
the
from Quail
easiest.
Springs Mall. It's in the same shopping center as Cafe 7. Wonderful group of guys. Triad Nutrition in Cool Greens. Those are kind of some of the big. And it's also great because it's very fitness, very wellness, which is our focus. The address is 14201 North May Avenue, Suite 205. You'll see us actually in the corner, so ringside corner, with a big giant sign that says Ringside Medical.
Cool.
And you can go check out all the wonderful products that are there from all the special vendors. Not everybody gets in over there at Ringside. You have to what does Ting Ting say? Bring your star player.
Bring your star, yeah.
If you're going, you got to bring out your star player. They've got the full line of flowers, tinctures, lotions, finish.
Charlotte's
And almost
Web.
new products
every
every
single
day.
day.
all the
I
time.
mean, if you were in yesterday, I'm sure we have something new on our shelves today,
Yep.
which is
Charlotte's
awesome.
Web.
So just trying to keep things fresh, carrying the same good old products that everybody's used to and cares about and loves. So,
And
It's a
Katie-
great website that you have here. I don't need to go anywhere else to find what it is that
and
you've
actually,
got
I'm
going
glad you
on
mentioned
here,
that
right?
because you can actually like pre-order and have
What?
it ready to go in
What?
our store. So instead of a 5-10 minute, wait at the dispensary trying to figure out what you want, you can have everything bagged up. You just make the purchase in the store when you come and pick it up. So
And you can actually do that on Leafly and Weedmaps as well. You can just pre-order there and pick it up right in store. Makes it very convenient. And
That
Katie,
is good.
what is tomorrow's deal? We should definitely give a shout out to
tomorrow, Flower Friday,
It's
which
your
when
day, Larry.
people flock for Flower Friday, it's 25% off all flour at Ringside Medical tomorrow all day long. We're open 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Better
Yep.
go get it. Go
And-
up a little bit north. Get
And
on up there.
We'll have 4 new strands that will be out on the floor tomorrow. So super positive about that.
But you'll have to check out Ringside tomorrow to find out.
Yep.
that
Yep.
tax
We'll keep it
included?
that nice and secret. But there is one that I'm pretty stoked on. So yeah, I can't wait to actually. I have not sampled it yet, so I can't wait to buy a gram myself and try that sucker out.
Try it out.
Which is nice. You've got it in grams and eighths, so you can try a gram if you like it. You can go save yourself $5 on the eighth after there. And it's nice through that eighth. I looked at. There's no big giant stem in there. It's nice buds in there. It's all smokable materials in there.
Yeah, we're not gonna do our patients like that. That's cruel.
Right.
Seeds sometimes we can't help because we aren't looking through each little cola like that. But stems, man, we break off a big stem. That's not
That's
fair.
a bonus.
Right.
Yeah, it's a bonus. That is all right.
Yeah.
me.
Something.
Yeah, you can always
Your
plant it, right?
bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, go throw it out in your yard, man.
Yeah.
Like, just make it grow.
That is the beautiful thing about all that kind of good stuff there. Sour grapes and all that. Everything looks beautiful. The menus are just. I'm the concentrate guy.
That's a shout out to Ringside Ray, who does
Ringside.
He's
does
getting in there.
our kind of back end
He
and
does our
website.
photos, our back end.
Yeah, he's a champ, man. He's our
Is that
our
this?
manager. He's
Is
a
that-
good guy.
Is that them?
Yeah, we carry bison
that's
extra.
bison.
That
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what. I said she ain't paying me a dime.
No.
But she came on the show and she brought that cream and we got
That's
to
great.
try it out. And my knee's been swollen and hurting since 420, since Cry Please almost damn near killed me because I was walking back
Right
and forth a
for it,
million
yeah.
thousand times. And my knee has been huge and just killing me. And I've gotten steroids I've taken for it. And I took that home and he took one, but I took the extended relief.
Yep.
And I rubbed it on there. And then, I'm sitting down and I get up within a minute and I was like in disbelief because I was just like,
it's huge.
I think
I couldn't believe
because they incorporate both the THC and the CBD
absolutely.
NCBN,
and
CBG.
And they all
Full
that.
cannabinoids.
It's I've never because I've tried several other brands and he laughs at me because I'm like I'm gonna be their spokesperson for that cream because it knocked the pain
It's
right
great.
out
It
and
is
my knee is
absolutely great.
actually
This is,
back
yeah,
to
this is what
almost
Sean uses.
it's
Sean
almost
uses
back-
that
Oh,
every day on his
He
music
uses that on his
Yeah.
knees, and we were one of the first dispensaries to carry these guys. I actually hunted them out very specifically.
two ladies.
Two ladies, two lovely ladies, and I knew that they. First of all, their brand is amazing. They got such a
Yes.
fun. That shirt,
Their
that
packaging
shirt is
and
so
their boxes
cool.
and stuff are
the
awesome.
packaging's great, and we carry their creams. We carry their transdermal patch. Another amazing
That
product
was
as
totally
well.
something cool they had.
And I believe that's all that we carry.
I
from
just
them.
know that I had suffered for months and put that on, and my knee's
It's
almost
huge.
back to
Yeah.
where it was before. Then, thank God.
I use it. I use it
It's
all the
horrible.
time on my lower back. I've got a lot of lower back problems.
Mm-hmm.
We carry a muscle rub, and probably some of the best things that you can do is put that muscle rub, really work it deep tissue, and then I'll take that cream and I'll put it for more of like kind of my top layer, like
Mm-hmm.
excess tissue. And man, I'm feeling pain free for a good amount of time. Which
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have a lot of patients that use both
The
the
dual.
bison pain cream and the muscle rub
gonna
as
have
kind
to
of
come
like in
check 'em out and get
tandem.
some.
yeah,
with
the
each
muscle
other.
rub's great.
The muscle rub is fantastic.
Yeah, you
too,
can
so-
really, and it has menthol, clove, and camphor.
cinnamon.
So it lights that
THC.
area up.
Okay.
They got it all over there at Ringside. They take
You
you.
better get
you
over
get
there and
into
check
that
it
corner,
out.
they're going to take care of you. They're going to get you ready for the next round.
We're gonna knock out the pain.
That's
Knock
it.
out the
Get
pain.
you ready to go again. To
That's
be
what I'm talking
World
about.
Championship form. So, Katie and
ding.
Jason, thank you so much for coming
Yeah.
over.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's been
guys.
awesome.
Anytime.
Yeah,
It's been
fantastic.
awesome. Everybody go check out the Ringside Medical there, up across the street from the Quail. You just Google it, right? That's
Yeah,
probably the best way
probably
to
the best way.
stick it right in
Ringside
there.
Medical, 14201 North May Avenue, Suite 205. Come check us out.
Go get the fancy the flower tomorrow. Go check
Oh
them
yeah,
out.
25%
Flower Friday,
off, Flower
25% off. Woo.
Mystery.
That's
Gotta
that's
go in
not
to see what it is.
10%. That's not 15.
No, it's 25.
That's not 20. That's 25.
Yeah.
So in other words, I'm going to be able to go in there. Like this Blue Diesel kind of call my name a little bit. not really a blue fan, but I love the diesels. I love the I always call it
Oh, there's a chronic.
dirty baby.
There's a
diapers.
chronic, yeah.
Yep.
Called the dirty baby diapers.
Dirty
That's
Yeah,
the-
so if you're into flour, tomorrow is your
The
day.
day to
We,
come
yeah,
in.
we run deals Monday.
So-
we are open Monday through Saturday. We are closed Sunday for now. We are, I think, starting August, we will be open on Sundays. Starting in August. But we're open Monday through Saturday. We run a daily deal every single day. And I think just to clarify to our patients and any new patients that want to come, we run that same deal every day of every week. So every Monday is Moon Rock Monday. Every Tuesday is Tasty Tuesday. So those deals that you see one week, they will be back the next week the exact same.
That's
so
cool.
And run through the rest of the days real quick.
Moon Rock Monday, Tasty Tuesday.
Which is what? What are the
Wha-
percentages?
I don't know Moon Rock Monday.
Moon Rock Monday is 20%
20% off. Tasty Tuesdays 20% off. All of our edibles. Wednesday's Waxy Wednesday 20% off of our concentrates. Thursday's Therapeutic Thursday 15% off CBD and Grow KC flour. And Friday Flower Friday, Saturday 25% off.
Say it again on
Shatter.
Saturday.
The Saturday.
I was like, that's a tongue twister.
That was
That's fun, yeah.
You got that out right there.
So $30 ace. That's what you're talking about. If it's 40,
$30
I'm looking at the blue diesel. It's $40 an eighth on Friday. Tomorrow, you pick that eighth up for $30.
I think, now this is pre-tax, so we are going to add the taxes on the back end. I think it comes out to like 37 out the door or something like that. Don't quote me, but it's a really good price. A lot of patients really rally towards that. And this Friday, we'll have 14 strands available. So I think we'll be able to find your need. And one of the cool things about some of the Grow KC flour that we carry that we did do a 15% off today, it's over, is that it's low THC, high CBD. So people who are more interested in getting that fast delivery, a lot of people ask me, well, why would you smoke that? Because when you inhale, when you do an inhalation, it's the fastest way to get that. So we have a high CBD and low THC for people who are interested in only that pain management side and not the psychoactive effects.
Yeah,
Right.
that's great.
Right. Any shout outs for Ringside? You want to shout out to the folks back at home or?
You know, I think we'll shout out to the whole team.
Yeah, shout
We
out
have
to the whole team,
we have
absolutely.
can I curse on here?
Yes,
We
absolutely.
have a badass team at Ringside Medical.
You're a
man.
bad fucking ass team.
Get in there and say it.
Yeah.
But they are. We could not do what we do without them. They are an incredible team. So
Yeah.
we actually wanted to bring one or two of them up here with us.
next
but
time.
They're
Next
working
time, next
hard
time,
for
absolutely.
us. So
Send Haley down. I want
Or-
to see.
Yeah,
some of
Haley,
her-
We'll get Haley
absolutely.
up here.
And do
That's-
a live maybe one day.
Yeah,
Go
we
out
do.
there.
Oh,
We'll
we
give y'all the
love
beauty
that, yeah.
of up close and personal. Give
Absolutely,
our viewers
we would
that.
love to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We would love to host you
anytime,
guys.
man. We'll have that, and we'll bring in. We'll have Cafe 7 or something. Bring in some sandwiches, and we'll have a good time, man.
There we
Okay,
go.
that
Bring in one of
sounds like
your
fun.
product people, and we can all sit down. We can show them,
Absolutely.
because they do show up in the store for product days sometimes, right?
absolutely.
Which is one of the
Yeah.
things that you get by having outside vendors, the experts that know what it is, that can answer all your questions there. If Haley or any of the other crew back there at Ringside doesn't know specifically, you
We
can
will
get it
find
right
out.
from the,
We-
you know.
When we have a new vendor come in, we always try to ask for 15 minutes of their time, and we pull our bud tenders in
do a
the
training.
back of the house, and we let them ask questions. We let them make sure they're comfortable. Shout out to John Creek Farms and Creekside Extraction. They spent about 45 minutes in the very beginning talking to our entire crew, making them feel comfortable, telling them exactly how they grow, what they use as a medium, then where they take that and what they do for their extraction process, how they implement that into their gummies and the other items that they carry. That knowledge is huge. To have our bud tenders and our managers have that and be able to pass that on to the patients, they feel incredibly more comfortable knowing that they have that path from seed to sale.
Oh, that makes a big difference when you can get them to come in and do that. I mean, that's the only way that they can convey that to the patients, and to hear it straight from them. There's nothing better. So that's a big shout out to them for spending the time, because
Yeah.
everybody's growing so fast. Everybody's trying. They're sending their sales reps, and then it's kind of drop and run. You know, so to do that, that's really amazing. So that we can get the information out to the patients,
absolutely.
right? Yeah, for sure.
Miss Chronic, any shout outs that you got besides get your medical card from
Get your
Chronic
medical
Docs?
card.
Chronic Docs,
Yeah, Chronic Docs.
which Ringside will be pushing and carrying. So if you're looking to do a patient and you're on our side of town, May and Memorial,
your
and you need some
virtual
information, you come over to Ringside Medical, and we will certainly help you out through Chronic Docs.
Awesome.
There you go.
Well, thank you guys so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
This
thank
was
you.
awesome.
It's
Glad
fun.
we ran into you
Yes,
at the
absolutely.
anniversary.
The anniversary.
Shout out to Jay.
We don't get
Ryan.
up as
There
I
you
don't
go.
get up as far north. I don't know about Larry, but I don't get up as far north as I should anymore. So I'm like I'm kind of here working all the time. So it's
Absolutely.
good to meet you guys out there. and
100%. I'm so
get
glad
to
we
spend some
did.
time. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
That's awesome. And so, shout out to Madeline and Heather. Remember, if you got a
sure.
chance, go
Great
check out
stories.
Heather's stuff there. Shout out to Ringside Medical for being super awesome people.
Thanks, guys.
My Miss Chronic, High Times, thank you so much for believing
Bringing
in
it to the
us.
state.
There
Yeah.
you go. That's
gonna-
freaking
awesome. Gonna be
awesome.
great.
And of course, shout out to my mom and dad who made this all possible. Larry Reed, the man on weed, July 11th edition of The Grinder. Thank you so much for staying tuned, and we'll see you real soon.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.